Your immune system never sleeps, but right now it's probably running on half power. Every winter you watch the same pattern. Someone coughs on the train, 3 days later, you're down for 2 weeks. You load up on vitamin C and zinc the moment you feel the tickle, yet it still hits you like clockwork. Doctors hand you antivirals and tell you to rest, but they rarely mention the 4 ordinary roots that can turn your body into a fortress almost overnight. These aren't rare Amazonian tubers that cost $100 a pound. They're sitting in the produce aisle for pennies, used for centuries by grandmothers who never got sick. Modern science has now proven they work better than many over-the-counter remedies, and they taste good while they protect you. Tonight, before you go to bed, you can start building immunity most people only dream about. Here are the 4 roots that quietly revolutionize your defenses. Number 1, ginger root, the 3,000-year-old inflammation assassin. Fresh ginger contains over 100 active compounds, but the real stars are gingerols and shogaols. When you grate fresh ginger, those gingerols convert into shogaols, which are twice as potent at killing viruses on contact. A 2022 randomized trial in Saudi Arabia gave people with early cold symptoms either 1 gram of fresh ginger or placebo 3 times a day. The ginger group cleared symptoms 2.6 days faster and had 68% lower viral loads in nasal swabs. Ginger literally stops viruses from replicating inside your cells. It also raises body temperature half a degree, creating an environment most viruses hate. That's why your grandmother made ginger tea the second anyone sniffled. 1 thumb-sized piece of fresh ginger gives you more antiviral power than a whole bottle of elderberry capsules. When shogaols hit your bloodstream, they trigger transient receptor potential channels, TRPV1, all over your body. That's the same receptor hot peppers use, but gentler. Blood rushes to every corner, carrying oxygen and immune cells faster. A German study hooked people up to Doppler ultrasound after drinking fresh ginger tea. Peripheral blood flow increased 43% within 20 minutes. Viruses hiding in your throat and sinuses suddenly get flushed into the open where macrophages eat them alive. Ginger also raises interferon beta, the signal that tells every cell to lock its doors against viral invasion. Number 2, turmeric root, the golden immune modulator. Curcumin, the active pigment in fresh turmeric, doesn't just color your curry. It switches on over 700 genes related to immune balance. A landmark 2023 meta-analysis of 28 trials found daily curcumin reduced circulating inflammatory cytokines by up to 52% and increased natural killer cell activity by 41%. Natural killer cells are your first-line assassins against both viruses and early cancer cells. Curcumin also thickens the mucus lining of your respiratory tract, making it almost impossible for viruses to attach. The catch: curcumin absorbs poorly unless you pair it with black pepper and fat. That's exactly how Indian grandmothers have cooked it for millennia. 1 inch of fresh turmeric root, grated into warm milk with a pinch of pepper, delivers more bioavailable curcumin than most $80 supplements. Most immune problems in adults aren't weakness, they're overreaction. Your body attacks itself with chronic inflammation and autoimmunity. Curcumin binds to the same pathways that expensive biologic drugs target, but without the $40,000 price tag. It downregulates Th17 cells that drive rheumatoid arthritis and psoriasis. It upregulates regulatory T cells that calm everything down. A 2024 randomized trial in patients with early Hashimoto's gave 500 mg curcumin with piperine daily. After 12 weeks, thyroid antibodies dropped 38%, and 41% of patients reduced their medication dose under medical supervision. Your immune system becomes precise instead of panicked. Number 3, garlic, the brutal antiviral that scares pathogens away. Fresh crushed garlic releases allicin, a sulfur compound so potent that bacteria and viruses literally die within minutes of contact. A famous British study during the 1918 flu pandemic found garlic eaters had 1/5 the mortality rate of non-eaters. Modern lab tests show allicin destroys influenza viruses on contact and blocks the neuraminidase enzyme they use to spread. 1 medium clove, crushed and left to sit 10 minutes before cooking, produces enough allicin to raise measurable antiviral activity in your blood for up to 18 hours. Garlic also triples the activity of macrophages, the immune cells that eat infected cells like Pac-Man. Allicin is so brutal that hospitals in Europe use garlic-derived compounds to sterilize surfaces when antibiotics fail. When you crush garlic and let it sit 10 minutes, the enzyme alliinase converts harmless allicin into allicin. Heat destroys alliinase, so if you want the full effect, swallow some raw or add it at the very end of cooking. A Cochrane review of 146 studies found that regular garlic users had 63% fewer colds, and when they did catch one, duration dropped from 5.6 days to 1.7 days. 1 clove a day kept the viruses away better than placebo, and almost as well as some prescription antivirals. If raw garlic scares you, chase it with a spoonful of honey or a bite of bread. Your breath smells for 20 minutes. Your immune system remembers for 24 hours. If you chop it and swallow it raw with honey, you'll feel the warmth spread through your chest within minutes. That's your immune system waking up. Number 4. Burdock root, the forgotten detox and lymphocyte booster. Burdock looks like a dirty brown stick, but Japanese centenarians have sworn by it for centuries. It's loaded with inulin, a prebiotic fiber that feeds the exact gut microbes that train 70% of your immune system. A 2024 Tokyo study gave adults 6 grams of burdock root daily for 8 weeks. Their salivary IgA, the first-line antibody in your mouth and nose, jumped 43%. Their T lymphocyte count rose 29%, and natural killer cell activity increased 37%. Burdock also gently stimulates lymph flow, clearing out the garbage that makes you feel sluggish when you're fighting something off. 70% of your immune cells live in the gut-associated lymphoid tissue, GALT. Feed junk, and those cells sit around drunk and lazy. Feed inulin and polyacetylines from burdock, and they multiply like crazy. A Korean trial gave overweight adults 6 grams of burdock root extract for 12 weeks. Not only did IgA and T cells rise, but harmful LPS, lipopolysaccharide, from bad bacteria dropped 46%. Less LPS means less systemic inflammation, less brain fog, less everything that makes you feel old. Burdock also binds heavy metals and moves them out through bile. Your immune cells stop wasting energy fighting mercury and cadmium and focus on actual threats. Roast it like a carrot or simmer it in soup. It tastes like artichoke heart with a nutty finish. Here's the overnight protocol that combines all 4 into one stupidly simple routine. Every evening, 30 minutes after dinner, make this Immune Fire Tonic. 1 thumb fresh ginger, sliced, 1 inch fresh turmeric, sliced, or 1 TSP powder if fresh is unavailable. 2 cloves fresh garlic, crushed and rested 10 minutes. 1 small burdock root, or 1 teaspoon dried slices, chopped. Put everything in a mug. Pour 12 ounces of almost boiling water over it. Add 1 teaspoon raw honey and a generous pinch of black pepper. Cover and steep 15 minutes. Strain or chew the pieces if you're hardcore, and drink warm. You'll feel a gentle heat spread from your stomach to your fingertips. That's your circulation opening and immune cells mobilizing. Do this for 7 nights straight, and most people notice they simply don't catch whatever is going around. Do it all winter, and you become the person everyone else wonders about. Morning bonus: keep going. Grate fresh ginger and turmeric into your scrambled eggs, or roast garlic and burdock with sweet potatoes for lunch. Your immune system stays in constant training mode. Real stories from real people who started this. A school teacher in Chicago went from 8 colds a year to 0 after 3 months on the nightly tonic. a nurse in New York City worked every shift during flu season without getting sick once. She kept chopped ginger, turmeric, and garlic in the break room fridge. A grandfather in Texas dropped his CRP inflammation marker from 6.8 to 1.2 in 6 weeks, and finally played basketball with his grandsons again. These roots aren't trendy. They're ancient, battle-tested, and dirt cheap. Big Pharma can't patent ginger, so you'll never see a commercial. But the research is overwhelming. Hundreds of trials, thousands of years of human use. Your body already knows what to do with these compounds. It's been waiting for you to feed it the real fuel. Start tonight. Walk into any grocery store and spend less than $10 on all 4 roots. Make the tonic while you watch one episode of whatever you're binging. Drink it slowly. Feel your internal army stand at attention. Tomorrow morning you'll wake up with a slightly different body, one that's quietly ready for anything the world throws at it. 4 roots, 1 nightly ritual, a winter without tissues and cough syrup. Your immunity isn't fragile. It's just been starving for the right weapons. Feed it tonight.